Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, dear listeners. Today, we're diving into a verse that really challenges our understanding of accountability and deception. It's about the final deception of Shaytan as highlighted in Surah Ibrahim, verse 22.
Right. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, everyone. This verse, oh man, it's like a mirror held up to our own choices, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. It lays out in sort of stark language that when judgment comes, Shaitan will try to shift the blame. He says, I invited you and you responded. It really forces us to confront our own role in every act, yeah?
Absolutely. And that's a heavy truth. I mean, the verse tells us, blame yourselves, which is almost like a wake-up call that every one of us is responsible for our own path.
Yes, indeed. Right. It's like, imagine you're playing a game where the rules are crystal clear. There's no cheat code, no external force making you lose. You decide to respond or not to a call, sort of like choosing a flavor of ice cream, but the consequences are, well, much more serious.
I get you, yeah. And what's fascinating is how the verse reveals Shaitan's confession. He says, I made you a promise, but I betrayed you. That admission really strips away any mystery from his tactics. It's his own downfall.
Very true, exactly. And listen, Shaitan admitting that I had no authority over you is a bold statement. It's a reminder that his influence is limited to a whisper. It's on us to choose, you know?
Yep, and that's something I find really empowering. Empowering, but also a bit unsettling. I mean, if we're the only ones in charge of our destiny, and that's essentially what the verse is saying, what happens to those moments when we're just not strong enough to resist?
Well, that's where the concept of divine mercy comes in. Absolutely. And it's exactly that balance. Allah's promise, the unwavering truth and guidance contrasts with Shaitan's deceit. While Shaitan admits he only invites, Allah provides us with constant clear signals, reminders, through the Quran, prayer, and our daily acts of worship.
Exactly. But let me challenge that for a moment. Sometimes it feels like we're overwhelmed by external pressures, social media, peer influence, and that might blur our responsibility. How do we refocus on our true agency as mentioned in this verse?
That's a good point, yeah. I'd say it comes down to turning inward and reminding ourselves of the core teachings. The verse reminds us that all temptations are seeded by Shaitan who, remember, only whispers. Our strength lies in our conscious choices.
Right? And the more we engage in dhikr and truly immerse ourselves in the Quran, the clearer those choices become. Yeah, it's all about being proactive, taking responsibility for our actions rather than attributing blame to external factors. The verse is almost a moral compass telling us to be vigilant about our internal dialogue.
Exactly. And to constantly check ourselves and consider this. Shaitan's final words in the verse, I deny your association of me with Allah, are like the ultimate betrayal of trust. It's as if, after everything, he's saying, I was never truly on your side.
It's a dramatic, but, an honest depiction of his nature, which forces us to acknowledge that ultimately, the only promise that stands is Allah's, because his promise is the truth. His guidance is, the eternal beacon we rely on.
Yes, indeed, that's the bedrock of our faith. And it's not just about fear or punishment. It's, a call to self-improvement. It tells us to step up, to take responsibility rather than seeking excuses.
It's like a challenge, one that pushes us to refine our character and strive for a better self. Now, some might argue that this level of personal responsibility is harsh. They might say that external factors sometimes just overwhelm personal capacity.
Well,
what do you think?
I'd say it's definitely a balanced challenge. Yes, life throws many obstacles, but the verse also reassures us that Allah provides all the tools we need. Exactly. It's like having a toolbox where each tool, prayer, repentance, remembrance of Allah, is there to help us realign whenever we stray.
And using those tools can turn even the toughest moments into opportunities for growth. And speaking of growth, the verse also highlights the concept of free will. Shaitan's role is limited to temptation. The ultimate decision is always ours. It's a humbling reminder of the incredible responsibility of our free
Yes,
will.
and it also encourages us to be vigilant. Every decision we make has its weight. So, to bring it home, this verse urges us to recognize the truth of Allah's promise, to heed His guidance, and to develop a deep sense of personal accountability.
That's the crux of it. A roadmap for a life of intentional choices in the face of constant temptation. And if I may add, it really serves as a reminder to check our priorities. We need to ask ourselves, are we responding to the call of truth, or are we falling for the deceptive whispers of Shaitan?
Exactly, and that self-questioning is key to spiritual growth. In a way, this verse is like a wake-up call, a reminder that while external influences exist, the final responsibility lies with us. It pushes us to reflect on our actions and to cherish the trust that Allah has placed in us.
Yeah, and sort of it admonishes us to take back control. So, dear listeners, as we reflect on this deep message, let's commit to continual self-improvement and awareness. Let's remember that every act of obedience builds our accountability in a positive light.
And let's be mindful that our journey is supported by the everlasting promise of Allah, which remains unshaken. That's right. And while the deception of Shaitan might tempt us in momentary whispers, the truth of Allah's promise stands firm. It's a powerful reminder that ultimately our success is built on our own choices and our sincere commitment to the
Indeed,
truth.
a truth that, helps us navigate even the darkest moments. As we conclude, let's take a moment to reflect on our personal journeys. Who do we choose to follow, and how do we respond when temptation calls? Let's channel that reflection into daily actions that align with the divine truth.
Absolutely, making each decision count. And never forgetting that true guidance only comes from Allah. Thank you for listening, everyone. May Allah keep us steadfast and grant us the strength to always choose His path over any deceptive
And may He
allure.
bless us with the wisdom to recognize our own role in every step we take. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.